Hi guys, I'm back and I'm continuing my series on manifesting your heart's desire for the new year. And today I am going to talk about specific goals. As I mentioned in my last video, I talked about SMART goals, those goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. Today I am focusing on the specificity and what can happen if you're not specific enough, and also what can happen if you are too specific, because neither one is a good thing. Let's start with if you're not specific enough. If you're not specific enough, the universe does not know what to bring to you. It's sort of like asking and saying, I want to be rich. Well, what does that mean? I want to be abundant. I want to be prosperous. I want to have more money. What does that mean and look like to you? You could find a dollar bill on the floor that Spirit has placed there for you. And you know what? You're richer than you were a minute ago. So Spirit is making you prosperous. They are bringing you more money. They're making you richer. But I highly doubt that a dollar more in your pocket is what you were talking about. So it is important that you set that expectation, set that level for what it is that makes you prosperous, makes you abundant, makes it so that you have the ability to attract into your life what you truly desire. A good example of this, I knew a woman who she was hoping to bring a soulmate into her life. She desired to have her partner, she desired to have love, and yearned for it with all her heart. So what did she do? She made a list, as many people do. She wrote down the things that were important to her. You know what she left out? She forgot to say that she wanted someone who she could have a romantic relationship with. And so lo and behold, Mr. Right came around. He was gay. Lovely man, her soulmate. They had a beautiful relationship, beautiful friendship. But there wasn't the romance and the intimacy she was hoping for, if you know what I mean. And so while she was able to attract what her heart desired, didn't exactly look like what she wanted. She recognized her error and folly and enjoyed the relationship she did have, although her heart still longed for that intimacy. That's why it's so important to be specific. And sometimes the specific aspects and what our heart really wants, what we really desire, we sometimes forget as we look at some of the inconsequential details. Which leads me to the second part. When you are making your list, be careful not to be too specific. Because if you are too specific, because our heart sometimes focuses on the inconsequential, we don't leave room for that intangible that we on this physical plane just don't understand, and don't give our guides the opportunity, our guardian angels, the universe, to put into our path that which is really for our purpose. So while you want to be careful not to be not specific enough, you also want to make sure you're not overly specific, and then close that window and that door for true opportunity. Let me show an example of where you can be too specific and it's not necessarily as important. My husband, when I was looking for a mate, I did what I had been shown and knew worked. I made a list. I knew of my friend's folly. And I was specific. I wanted someone to have a romantic relationship with. I also added the list with the idea of being serenaded. I, in my head, had been serenaded by someone like Josh Groban. I've in the past been serenaded when I've dated people in bands, and it just makes my heart sing. I should have been more specific, or more likely I should have left that off my list, because my husband, while he serenades me, it is not well. We have conversations and he hums and sings under his breath. So annoying. I think he's not listening to me, and he's just like, oh babe, I'm singing, I'm serenading you, that's what you wanted. Not what I intended. but it was on my list and I got it. And it might have been limiting to some other things that had my guides, had my list been too long, perhaps he wouldn't have been the perfect match for me. I know relationships that have gone south real quick because one of the individuals who was asking the universe, was trying to manifest, but was way too specific, that didn't allow for their guides to work in some of their magic and help them accomplish what is their higher purpose, their higher soul. These lists, these goals, the specificity is one, to tell the universe what you want, but it is also your way of knowing when you've attained it. Because if it's specific, you know what you're looking for. If Mr. Right doesn't come in and doesn't meet these attributes, then you might not have met Mr. Right. So it helps you know when you have that measure of success. But again, be careful not to be too specific. I tell people, when you're being specific and you're doing something like making a list, don't put more than 10 items on it. If you have more than 10, you have too many. So my dears, I hope that gives you a tip to avoid the pitfall of being too specific or not specific enough. Stay tuned and we will be talking about another pitfall and how to avoid it in a future episode. What's your specific goal? Share it in the comments below. Share it with your friends. If you like my channel, please subscribe and stay tuned for future episodes. Also, like my Facebook page or send me an email with things that you want to see in a future video. Talk to you soon.